Sweet. Holy cow. I don't know if anybody's actually watching. I don't have this up on YouTube, but welcome. I'm just doing a quick beer tasting. Nothing crazy. Won't be very long. But I'm kind of messing with this streaming software too, because dang, it did not want to play nice. Give me 1 second. I should have already pulled this up, but I'm trying to get to my YouTube page. You would think I'd know how. Hang on. I think we got it. Here we go. Maybe. Mute. All right. I think we're good. Sweet. All right. So I don't think there's anybody here. I'm just going to record this anyway. This is a beer I got from Beer Man, who now goes by Bubble Gut Brewing. And I'll get his link added to this so that you can get to it. But if you just search on YouTube for Bubble Gut Brewing, it should come up. I'm looking at a text message here he sent me. Trying to zoom in. So I don't want to just show it, but let me tell you. So this is a dark, so here's the can that he sent me. It's a dark chili. Hang on, it's cut off on his thing. So I'm trying to see. Dark chili smoked saison. You know, this guy is a real brewer. This is kind of why I want to show you this, but I'm not gonna for his, privacy. But man, so there's a printout. Like I do the same thing. I print out my recipe. I don't know if this comes from his software. It looks like maybe he just has like a spreadsheet, but basically it's got like, all the details of the color and the bitterness and everything, the recipe. And then it's got a million handwritten scribbled notes all over it. Holy cow. I'm just trying to see what this is. There is a lot of stuff going on here. Let me pour this beer and then I'm going to kind of look at what he sent me as far as his notes and stuff. Oh, this is not really a beer review. He makes great beer, so I'm not really worried about, normally I wouldn't do a beer review on my channel or live of a friend's beer, but look at you can't see because this camera is too far, but look at the head retention. Oh my God, that looks amazing already. I will say, let's see, if we're talking about the head retention, the bubbles look like the kind that are going to dissipate pretty quickly. We'll see. I mean, I've had beers that didn't last this long with the head retention, so I can't complain at all. Carbonation looks good. The can did arrive kind of wet. It was really well wrapped and in plastic so that in case it did leak. So I was a little worried because you could smell it smelled of beer and it was a little bit wet on the inside. But I looked at the seam on the can and stuff and squeezed it a little bit. I mean, it looks like it is sealed. So I'm guessing what happened is that he literally filled these cans up and mailed them out like almost the same day, same time, and that probably there was beer on the outside of the can when he filled it. That's all. I'm not really worried. All right, so okay, I'm smelling to see if I get any of the spiciness, off of the aroma. I don't, but it definitely, you can smell the peppers, but you don't smell, it doesn't smell spicy, like it doesn't burn your nose, but you can smell there's something going on, right? There's something going on in there. I can't read all these notes to you guys. This will be way too long of a live stream, but and I can't quite read everything he's written in here, but this is fascinating. Like I don't even put this many notes on mine. I'm just gonna look at what he put in this because so he uses RO water. That's pretty typical. And then he's got all his water or salts, his water additions. Then he has, it's like 2-row, Vienna malt, chocolate rye, Carafa 1, rye malt, Hang on, he's got some more water salts mixed in here in the middle. That's why that looks like there's so much, because there's a lot of water additions. He's got nugget hops, looks like a 60-minute edition, and it says 26-minute edition. Here we go. Chipotle peppers, smoked chipotle peppers added to the boil. I don't know if it went for the whole boil or just at the end, but he put 3 ounces in it, and I don't know batch size. 13.5 gallon batch size. So he makes a lot of beer all at once. What else has he got? Oh, East Kent Goldings hops. These are, I can't tell if he dry hopped this. Because he's got East Kent Goldings, Fuggles, more East Kent Goldings, more Fuggles, Willamette. Yeah, it doesn't really, I can't tell from the recipe here. Oh, here we go. So Goldings were a Whirlpool edition. Fuggles were at 15 minutes. He also added East Kent Goldings here, this additional one for Whirlpool. Some Willamette at Whirlpool. So not dry hopped, which I wouldn't expect, but honey, he put some honey. It looks like it says blackberry flower honey. I don't think I've ever seen blackberry flower honey. That's interesting. Saison Stein's Monster. Oh, this is the yeast. Some sort of, it looks like a mega yeast. And wow, God, he went crazy on this beer. French oak cubes. So he also aged it for 7 days, so a week on French oak cubes. French oak cubes tend to be a little less pungent, powerful, whatever you want to say, than American oak. I can't wait any longer. So the head retention did go away. I kind of thought that. I don't know. You can just kind of tell sometimes when you see like certain head retention, the way the bubbles are, you can tell that like they're not going to stick around. But that was it was really nice head retention at the start. And man, so I would say, and this is nothing against Beer Manor Brewing. This has to do with shipping. It's a little bit what we call pitillant, meaning it's pretty light on the carbonation. But because it's light, it actually is added creaminess, I think, to it. Hang on, I'm going to switch and see if I can see. Hey, trying to see the chat screen here. I didn't realize that was up. What's up, Paul? Thanks for stopping by. I won't be on too long. I haven't figured out how to view the chat in. Oh, here we go. Now I can see it. I don't usually go live, so I've got a lot more buttons and things in front of my face here that I don't know what they do, so I don't want to touch any of them. Yeah, it almost looks like nitro. Well, it's kind of dissipated, but it does, because the carbonation is low, it almost has a nitro feel to it. I can get, so the peppers are not super spicy. Chipotle peppers don't tend to be spicy anyway. And it says, you know, you just smoke them. I don't know that I taste a lot of smokiness. But the heat from the peppers is creepy, meaning it creeps, not that it's creepy, like scary, but it creeps up on you. So it's warm on the back of your throat, but it's not burning at all. Like it's not, you know, it's not uncomfortable or unpleasant. So for me, I think this is the perfect amount of peppers, because you don't want to drink a beer and have yourself, you know, your mouth is on fire and you're trying to drink more to cool it, but it's got peppers in it. So I think that he nailed the amount of peppers in this beer. I'm trying to look at things like ABV here on his sheet. I can look at what it's supposed to be. It was maybe boil size, batch size, efficiency. I don't see an ABV, expected ABV on the recipe, but if I scroll down in his handwritten notes, no, here it is at the bottom here. So I'm not used to, I use a different software. So this is different than what I'm used to seeing. So 1055. So his gravity was expected to be 1051. And he hit 1055, so just a little bit over. Nothing wrong with that. It's very rare, in my opinion, to hit your original gravity exactly as the recipe says. There's just so many variables. I call it like the unicorn of homebrew. I mean, it almost never happens. So when it does, you're kind of like in shock. What else does he have here? So it says expected ABV is 6%. I thought I saw him handwrite. He put 6.3%. So final gravity supposed to be 10:05, but his hit 10:07, so it didn't go quite. So it's very dry, but very close. So it's supposed to be 6%, according to the recipe, and he hit 6.3. So that's really good. Like he's very close on these numbers. I'm just looking what other information that could be interesting. I'm looking at his handwritten notes, to be honest with you. So he's writing down 1048 starting gravity. So I don't know what happened there because that's not what he wrote next to the gravity. How many? So 10 to 12 hours yeast. Okay, so he's writing when the yeast started to take off. Wow, there's so much information on here. I didn't expect to get this. This is cool to be able to get all this information. Mash it at 150 Fahrenheit, it looks like. Step temperature, 150 Fahrenheit. So I'm looking, there's another thing that says something about adding water, mashing in at 161. That's a little high for that, so I'm not sure. He uses a 3-tier system. It's different than what I do. So I think he sparges. So the recipe is much different from the kind I would write. Carbonation, etc. Added up. So he says he ended up adding 12 more chipotles on top of what he had. So I think he's saying he added about 8 peppers, and then he added 12 more. But like I said, man, I think it's the perfect amount because it's like even right now I can feel a little bit of the heat still, like in the back of my tongue, but it's just enough. Like it's not burning. I will say one thing that I don't know how you would change it because I've never brewed a beer with peppers. So, well, maybe I'll tell you now because I'll forget if I don't tell you. It's a little vegetal. So, and I get this anytime you're adding something like, that's like produce to a beer. Anything that's green like that can get vegetal because if it sits in your beer, I get a little bit of that. It's not too much. It's not too bad. I think you can smell it and taste it a little bit. And I don't know if there's some way to mitigate that, if there's a way to try to get the pepper, but without the vegetal. Because like I said, I did try making a cucumber Kolsch once and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Anyway, we're almost done here. He's got notes like in the sideways. That's why I'm turning my phone. Next night, he tried it. Wasn't quite enough chipotle, and that's when he added the 12 extras. Interesting. So he said it was pasteurized. Interesting. So he must have added the peppers during the boil. I think we were noticing. I just don't know how long. I don't know when he added it to the boil. I wonder if you could just put it at the end of the boil to, as he says, pasteurize, sanitize it, and then immediately bring the beer down to chilling temperature and leave the peppers in. You might get less vegetal, but like I said, I don't know exactly when he added them. After about 5 days, transferred it to the keg and got the beer off the peppers. So he left the peppers only in there for 5 days. That sounds about right too. Like if you let the beer just sit on something like that, you're risking getting not off flavors, just it's going to pull vegetal flavors off of it that I think you don't want. Something about oak chips. That's right. Hang on, I totally forgot that it said he had put French oak. Okay. Yep, I can see that. I don't think I would have caught that if I didn't know and I wasn't told. Yeah, I get that. The French oak, that's good. I just bought some oak myself to use in a my next beer that I'm gonna be brewing. Um, I was curious. So you said you took it off the oak chips. I think you could leave it on the oak chips longer. Not that it tastes bad or anything. I'm just saying, I don't know personally, especially when you're doing homebrew. If you're just doing oak chips, and I don't know if he soaked them, in any kind of spirit before he put them into the beer, but I don't know. I think you could leave the oak chips longer. You'd have to taste test to make sure you don't, it doesn't get overpowering. But like in this particular one, I think it could go a little longer. It's good. I got one more of his beers. I'm assuming it's the same. I'm saving it in case he's wanting to do something like a beer tasting or something. I don't know. He didn't say that, but anyway, I am going to head out. It's good to see you, Paul. Thanks for stopping by. I was just popping on shortly to try Beer Man's beer. It was cool for him to send that to me. I had mentioned to him that it sounded really good when he was making it. So that's fun because I've never had a beer like this. Anyway, check out my video tomorrow. I did a video comparing two different whiskeys, and one of them is actually, I got the beer. So it's a whiskey that was finished in a beer stout barrel. And that beer that was originally made in that barrel, I got a can of it to kind of compare to the whiskey. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Might see you later on today. Cheers.